on Xero, if you go to accounts at the top and you scroll down and you click on the chart of accounts, then out comes the chart of accounts, and on this list you have a number of accounting codes. Now if we want to add to the account codes, and I'm just going to add one called parking, I can scroll down and see what is there. Does parking even exist? So I could, to shorten it, search for, let's just say, travel. If I just put in travel and search, it will narrow it down, and I can see that code number 493494 is travel. So let's say, okay, I want to just go to the chart of accounts. I just want to add that. When I scroll down to 493, now that I can see where travel is, because when you add a new account code, what you want to do is add it near to a similar account number. So I can see that 49596 and going forward has been used, but 49, for example, 2 hasn't been used. So I'm going to create a new account code called parking. I'm going to call it 492. And I see that it's an overhead. So that's what I'm going to do. So I go to the top here and I will add account. The account type is going to be overhead. I'll call this account number 492 and I tab. If it's not available, so for example, if I'd put 493 and I tab, it would say it's not available, and it tells you what it is. It's there already, it's travel. So I'm going to call it 492, and the name I'm going to call this is simply parking. If I wanted to assign a VAT code to it, I can do. All it means is that every time it comes up, it's going to assume that there's VAT on it, and I just save. So I'm going to do that one, and then I'm just going to add one more. I'm going to add, if I scroll down, I want to add one which is to do with Zoom. Let's say I'm using Zoom a lot. Now, the key thing with accountancy, bookkeeping, is consistency. So Zoom is where you use the online portal. You have your meetings online. Now, some people would just categorize that under subscriptions. They'd call it 485. If I specifically want to give Zoom its own account heading, let's say, I'm going to call this 486. And I'm going to call it, I could call it Zoom, I could call it IT subscriptions. The key thing is just consistency, that you always use it. And again, this will be an overhead. So let's make it number 486 and let's call it Zoom. So we scroll to the top, we go to add account. The account type is an overhead. We're going to give this number 486. I'm going to call this Zoom stroke online web meetings. There is VAT on Zoom's invoices, and I just say save. And when I scroll down 486, I can see just as parking's been put in, so is Zoom. And that is how you add a new category onto your chart of accounts, so that you can then start coding items into that.